Mike and Angela are looking for their dream home in Greater Vancouver, and they're choosing between the urban neighborhood of Kitsilano and the suburb of White Rock, 48 kilometers from the downtown core.
I'm speechless.
This place speaks to me.
So after one round, is it going to be the urban heritage loft in Kitsilano or the suburban heritage home in White Rock?
For this round anyway, it's going to have to be the suburban home, I think. I mean, it's got everything that we want. We can walk down to the beach.
Sorry about that one, sucker.
This doesn't happen often. Check one to Sarah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
This is such a good show. Watching people decide how they want to live the rest of their lives, or at least the immediate future, whether in an urban setting, a suburban setting, and then watching a brother and sister scrap it out to try and find the perfect house for the couple.
Will it be urban or suburban?
Sarah
Nicely
Daniels
done.
and Philip Dumoulin joining us. Hi, you
Hello.
guys. How are you?
Very well.
I called you Philip for your mom.
There you
Well
go.
done.
That was it.
Thank you,
Big
Michael.
shout out to Mom.
for
You
your
know
mom.
what? Already people asking urban or suburban, for me, it's like having people ask me how the traffic is all the time, but now it's being replaced.
Right, by urban or
whole new
suburban.
thing.
Yeah.
This is a brilliant show, Sarah, and you were sort of giving us a little inside and sneak peek when you were starting to do it, but give us the concept of the whole thing. I mean, really, it's pretty simple.
Well, Philip said it best before. It's a lifestyle show. It's not. It's a home buying show, but it's a lifestyle show. It's whether you're going to live in the city or the suburbs. And so, essentially, what we do is we take a couple out. They see, whoever it might be, 3 city homes and 3 suburban homes, obviously within their budget. And the big decision is which is going to work for them. And a lot of it comes into being whether the daycare is going to be better in the city or the suburbs. Sometimes that depends on where the parents actually live, because let's face it, parents are often the daycare system.
Yeah, absolutely.
But travel, some people are able to work from home, so the commute's not so much of an issue if they live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Now, you guys really do scrap it out, Phil.
We do.
Is it awesome to be scrapping it
always
out
been
in
such?
public with your sister?
Well, it's brotherly love, towards my sister. So whatever I say, she takes with a grain of salt. I hope, anyway.
Is this a realistic debate for a lot of couples when they're buying a house? I mean, whether they have that choice to,
Well,
they've got this money, what can we do with it?
Absolutely. What we're trying to do is disprove some myths, too. The big one was always, well, we're going to lose our friends.
Right.
And it doesn't matter really about your friends. It's if you have children.
Who cares about them?
All of a sudden, though, if you're a family, your best friend, if they're single and still party, it doesn't matter if they're 2 blocks down the road, you're not seeing them. So you might as well be out in White Rock or wherever it is, because if that's the best place for your family, well then,
But as
move
we've
them.
seen in some of the episodes that have aired already, it really is a tough choice for people, because when you are in the suburbs, whether it be here in British Columbia or right across the country, you can get so much more space, but then you've got the commute. Sarah, what is it like to walk people through this? Because you guys actually do make them make the commutes and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
To help them through that decision so they make the right choice.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, like for me, when did an episode in Halifax, and for me, the right choice actually, I wanted to move to Halifax because there was,
There was a few people who really wanted her to move to Halifax.
Just a couple.
See, now this is an example. This is an example. But I mean, they had the city homes. I mean, you can live very close to the city, and actually, pay for $350,000, $400,000 for a very nice home. At the same token, and the thing is also, it depends on where you are. Like some suburbs, I mean, the commutes for Halifax are really not that difficult. For Vancouverites, we would laugh at it. Same with people from Toronto, they would laugh at it. Like 20 minutes away is a suburb. But the bang for your buck factor is huge. Now, if you're in Calgary, the suburbs are completely different than what we're used to.
Yeah. It's all a suburb, really,
well,
isn't it?
it really is. I
Calgary,
mean, and that's the thing, and no offense to people in Calgary, but the suburbs in Calgary are just that. They are suburbs. There's not like a Burnaby or a New Westminster or a Coquitlam.
Yeah. Calgary.
It's named after the subdivision that you're in, and so there's a mall. There's no sort of working area. I live in White Rock. Philip lives in White Rock. There is like a little business area in those areas.
So you live in the suburbs, do you?
I like to call it a borough, a city within a city.
Do you guys do? I know as a viewer when I watch the show, I try and guess, like when they're looking at that first home, or even when you guys are setting up the couple. Philip, when you guys first meet these people, are you trying to sort out whether they're urban or suburban as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obviously the fun part of the show. There's 3 rounds, so husband and wife or couple or whoever it is get to go toe-to-toe for 3 rounds, and then there's the ultimate reveal. But you can tell once it's usually around the 3rd home, though, where you're starting to get an inkling. And typically the wife is always right. So if the male is just happy wife, happy life.
And that's,
we use that.
Force 4 is our production company who does a great job, by the way, but they get to see some of the stuff that we don't get to see because we're not always with the couple.
Right.
So, there's some things that we don't get to see.
So you are guessing,
we're kind of sometimes when we're meeting them, we're having to guess what's going on. And actually, because we want to keep the mystery sort of alive in that sense, we don't know what they're going to pick until they actually pick it. So we can try and prod it out of them.
Yeah.
But there's some things that they film, and obviously, like I said, Force 4 gets to see it before we get to see it. So.
Yeah, well, and then there's the eye candy factor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just getting to look at homes. There's something about real estate, getting that
real
glimpse
estate
inside.
porn, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
real estate porn.
I wasn't going to say that.
Well, but come on.
Wow.
Terribly.
But I mean, the interesting thing is too, is like I was saying earlier, wait till we go farther along the line because you'll see what $450,000 gets you in Halifax, which is just incredible.
It makes me cry.
But then we have episodes in one in Vancouver, which we just saw the rough cut for the other day, and their budget was 1.5.
Right.
And
wow,
still,
you can get,
but you can get some decent. It was Langley versus Vancouver downtown. But I mean, if you took that price point and went to Halifax and told them this is the price
Sidney
point,
Crosby would be your
they're
neighbor.
gonna fall over.
Well, and
it's
this is part of the
interesting.
fun from Vancouver is you get to see.
And it's interesting to see people walk themselves through this decision because it is a decision at some point in people's lives when they are starting a family that they have to make this. But I think it's kind of unique on HGTV because we've seen all the renovation shows. There's a lot of real estate shows, but you guys really walk people through a process that can help people at home make the same decisions.
I think we're going to actually end up as a relocation company as well because I mean, when people in Vancouver find out the price tags of it, and
In
that's
Halifax,
I think another really
That's the
nice
exciting
thing.
part of the show.
Yeah, another really nice thing about the show is that it's not just in Toronto or Vancouver, and as we know, a lot of the real estate Canadian-based shows are
stick
filmed
in
in
one
Toronto.
city,
Property Virgins has gone down to the States, but they still do a lot, mostly in the Toronto metro area. Whereas there's, I mean, when has there been a real estate show that's featured in Winnipeg?
Air miles is all I have to say.
Do you see
Indeed.
couples sometimes? I mean, because they haven't quite settled on urban suburban, and there's some real discussions.
You know,
still to
there's
be
a
had?
struggle because obviously, you can go out to the suburbs, see a kitchen that just knocks your socks off. You come back to the city, and although it may make more sense to be in the city, you're going down to one car. Your kitchen may be a little compressed. You may have to put 2 kids in 1 bedroom.
You have to walk like this in your basement.
It's a struggle.
But then you're not spending 2 hours on the highway, and there
Exactly.
goes the debate.
You're having this argument right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a fascinating question for people.
It is. But it's different in every city, and that's again what Sarah said. It's fantastic that Canadians now are going to get to see prices across the country, and we pinpoint the locations. As you saw, it's White Rock versus Kitsilano. So when we're talking about Halifax or Toronto, people will know the communities we're talking about, not some generalization.
Can we talk about the fact that when it premiered, it was one of the most successful premieres on HGTV in the past
As it should
year?
be.
Yeah,
It's all because of me.
Congratulations.
Oh, because
Okay, and
oh,
they're
wait,
gonna
wait,
do
that's
that.
right.
Can we
My
fit his
last
head
question.
into the studio?
How many episodes have aired?
We've
now?
done 6 episodes.
And what's the score through those 6
I think
episodes?
we're
2-1.
three
Oh,
each.
yeah,
is-
sorry, I keep thinking, yeah.
3 each,
yeah.
3 each, I think it is.
3 each, even Steven. We'll see
It
how
is.
the rest of the season pans out.
There's a couple of areas I get crushed in.
Moi aussi.
There's a couple where it's just a crushing blow. Like I just got like cold
Flayed.
swept right across the mat.
I'm not living.
Well,
here.
it is a fascinating and fun show. Make sure that you tune in. It's Wednesdays at 10 o'clock on HGTV, and it does repeat, much like Urban Rush. When you have Urban in the name of your show, you're
Great
on
name.
all the time.
Guaranteed to be on 12 times. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're gonna